Chapter 21, Welcome to Berlin. January 23rd, 1930, Berlin, Germany. Berlin greeted us with fog, frost, and the faint smell of smoke. It was a city that hadn't healed since the war. The streets were wide, the buildings sharp, and every corner felt like it had ears. Gray uniforms moved through the crowds, eyes scanning, boots clicking like clockwork. We kept our heads down and our papers tighter than our weapons. Gary had memorized the drop address, Kaiserdam 12, a bookstore tucked between a shuttered cafe and a butcher's stall. Our contact was waiting in the back. The bell over the door barely made a sound when we entered. No customers, only the smell of old paper and dust. A woman stepped from the shadows, mid-30s, dark coat, sharper eyes, no name tag, no questions. "You're late," she said in perfect English. "Storm at sea," I replied. She nodded and locked the front door. "You're here for Brandt," she said. "So is everyone else." "Define everyone," Mark said. "British handlers, German intelligence, 2 Soviets, and someone who doesn't speak any known language but carries an American pistol." Gary raised an eyebrow. "Chorus, I presume?" She smiled faintly. "The only voice left in this choir." She handed me a folder. Inside, photos, building plans, notes in 3 languages. Brandt was staying at a private estate outside the city, heavily guarded, heavily funded, legally protected by diplomatic immunity, on paper. "You won't get to him through the front," Chorus said, "but I can get you close." "What's the catch?" I asked. "You only get 1 shot," she said, "and if you miss, we all disappear." Gary scanned the plans. "There's a service tunnel, winter delivery line, comes up in the wine cellar." Mark grinned. "That's our doorbell." I looked at Chorus. "Why help us?" Her face hardened. "I lost someone in 1924, someone Brandt buried with a ledger and a lie." That was enough. We left the shop just before sunset. The air in Berlin was colder than Washington, but the tension? That felt the same. We had 1 night to plan, 1 tunnel, 1 target, and no margin for error. Chapter 22, Through the Cellar Door. January 24th, 1930, outside Berlin, Germany. The forest held its breath. Snow clung to the branches, muffling the world. Our boots moved silent across frozen ground, each step measured, every breath tight. Gary led the way, followed with her map and memory. Mark watched our backs like a man born for it. The estate stood ahead, a gray fortress of stone and polished menace. Floodlights swept the courtyard, manned by guards in long coats and colder eyes. Brandt wasn't hiding. He was daring someone to come. We planned to take him up on it. Chorus guided us to the edge of the old property line, an abandoned pump shed sagging into the earth. Beneath it, hidden under leaves and stone, was a small iron hatch. "This was used for winter supply deliveries," she whispered. "No one checks it anymore. That's the lie we're betting on." Gary knelt and picked the lock. It clicked open like it had been waiting. We descended single file into the dark. The tunnel was narrow, low, and lined with damp brick. The air smelled of mildew and the kind of dust that clings to memory. It twisted once, then ran straight to the house. We passed crates, old, forgotten. Mark brushed away cobwebs from a faded wooden sign. "Wine cellar! Wine cellar!" 15 minutes in, we reached an iron gate. Mark unhooked the bolt, slow and silent. Beyond, a staircase led up, stone steps smoothed by time and use. We climbed. At the top was a heavy wooden door. Gary pressed his ear to it. Quiet. Chorus eased it open. We stepped into the wine cellar, dimly lit by oil lamps. Shadows danced over bottles older than the Republic, and directly ahead, a stone staircase winding up toward Brandt's private study. "This is it," I said. Gary stepped forward first, scanning the room with practiced eyes. "There," he said, pointing to the base of the staircase. "Pressure plate, just like they taught in Madrid." "Mechanical?" Mark asked. "Probably triggers a bell or lamp upstairs." We moved around it, slowly. Up the stairs. Careful. Brandt's study was empty. Books lined the walls. A map of Europe, dotted in red wax pins, hung behind his desk. The fire burned low in the hearth. On the desk, a black leather case, unlocked, open. Inside, Gary stopped. Tripwire, front edge, glass pin rigged to fall. We froze. Mark knelt and pulled a match from his pocket. With care, he cut the wire and caught the pin before it fell. "Safe," he said. I reached out and took the ledger. The real one, the full record. Everything from 1924 all the way to now. Then footsteps, 2 guards, rifles up, voices barking in German. Mark moved first. A chair to the chest dropped the first. Gary tackled the second, slamming him into the bookcase. Chorus raised her pistol but didn't fire. Silence returned. We ran, down the stairs, through the tunnel. No words, no breath, only motion, only purpose. Behind us the bells rang. Brant knew we'd come, but we had what he feared most, the truth. Chapter 23, The Circle Tightens. January 25th, 1930, Berlin Safe House. We didn't stop running until the city swallowed us whole. The safe house was an old boarding flat above a music shop in Kreuzberg. Chorus had arranged it. 2 rooms, 1 exit, and no questions asked. The walls were thin, the beds harder, but it was quiet. For now. Gary locked the door behind us and set the case on the table. The ledger, the real one, we had it. We had everything. Mark pulled off his coat, breathing heavy. That was too easy. It was supposed to be, Chorus said. He let it happen. I looked at her. What do you mean? Brant's not stupid. He knew we'd come for it. He's not the kind of man who loses unless he wants to see what happens next. I opened the ledger again, page by page. Payments, transfers, codes. But something new appeared in the final entries. Names we hadn't seen before. Not just British, not just German, American. Businessmen, senators, banking officials, some of them tied to defense contracts, some tied to foreign investment in what Germany now called national recovery. Gary sat down hard. This wasn't about 1924, he said. That was just the start. Mark leaned in. This ledger doesn't expose the past. It exposes the future. Chorus nodded grimly. Brant's not just protecting old secrets. He's protecting a new arrangement, a rising power. And now, I said, he knows we know. Just then, the shopkeeper below slammed the door. Voices followed. Not German, not friendly. We pulled our weapons. Mark checked the window. 3 men across the street. Coats, gloves, posture like predators. Scism, Gary said, handing me a small envelope. What's this? Insurance. All the files, hidden microfilm, copy of the ledger entries. Give it to the Evening Star if we don't make it. I tucked it into my coat. Then the stairwell creaked. Footsteps. Chorus raised her pistol. Mark took the door. 3 knocks, then silence. Then, we're not here to kill you, a voice called in English. We're here to talk. I stepped closer. Brant? No, but close enough. I opened the door halfway. A man stood in the hall, mid-50s, clean-shaven, hat in hand. British. I'm here to deliver a message, he said. You have 7 days. After that, the world goes back to sleep. Not this time, I said. He smiled faintly. That's what the last man said. Welcome to Scism Detective Agency stories, where the fog is thick, the coffee's black, and danger is always a step behind. Step into the smoke-filled alleys and shadowed train yards of 1920s America, where every case begins with a whisper and ends with a bang. This channel brings you original noir audio dramas, serialized mystery stories, and voice-over narratives steeped in grit, espionage, and betrayal. Follow former United States Navy intelligence officer Patrick Scism as he uncovers dark secrets in the heartland of the American Empire. Whether you're here for old-school detective tales or period-accurate historical thrillers, you're in the right place. Like what you hear? Hit like, tap subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a case file. Drop a comment to tell us which mystery has you hooked or who you think did it. Coming soon, join the agency on Patreon. Want more stories, exclusive case files, behind-the-scenes content, and early access to new episodes? Our Patreon page is launching soon. Help support independent storytelling and get inducted into the inner circle. The cases are open, the city never sleeps, and you're on the list. Welcome to the Scism Detective Agency.